Hi, everybody. It's me, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS. It is a software. It's absolutely no cost to you to use it, and it will take your kid. If you're trying to get an athletic scholarship, we will take their academic information, the sport they play, the level they believe they can play at the collegiate level, and we'll show you all the schools they qualify for academically that offer their sport for scholarships. It's a big year coming up. This is 2025. This video that I'm doing right now, I'm kind of doing an emergency. This is for Point Guard College. So if your kid plays basketball, this is going to be really important for you guys to listen to. So I started this about 5-6 years ago, talking about Point Guard College and recommending that college. And so it is not a school, it is a camp. It's a basketball camp, and there's so many basketball camps. I get a lot of grief from this every year because I do this, but I do this because the reason I got into the software was because I went through this with my daughter, trying to figure out how to get her an athletic scholarship. And this was back in 2010. So it's been a while. And so one of the things that ended up happening that year was that I worked for the government in Los Angeles, and we had got put on furloughs. That was, remember that downturn in the financial downturn back in 2008, 2009. Well, we were on furlough at the time. So money was really tight for us. And so the problem was that she had a great freshman year, and now she was going into her sophomore year. And everyone was telling me, hey, she needs to get on this travel club program, and she needs to do this, she needs to do that. But one of the things that I did for her was I got her on a travel club program, but it wasn't the top one. I could not afford to do that at the time. So I put her on it wasn't a lesser team. It was a team that we put together from other parents that were kind of struggling to find a spot, but they were all top level players. In fact, every single girl on that team got a Division I scholarship. Not all high level, but they all got D1, they all got full ride scholarships, and that was really important for me back then. And the other thing is that I sent her to the Point Guard College camp. It was Think the Game. That was the name of the camp at the time. I think now it's called Point Guard Camp or Point Guard College. So they do a number of different camps, different age groups and things like that. But through the years, I always came on and I said, hey, if you got a basketball player and they're young and they're really into the game, that was the other thing with my daughter. She really studied and understood the game, that you want to send them to this particular camp. And so, you know, over the years, people kind of gone back and forth with me on, is this the best camp? Is this the one? And why do I think it's a great camp? That's been the big thing. Why isn't this camp good? And my daughter went to a number of camps and clinics. I'm in LA. We went to a whole bunch of, you know, the professional athlete camps. We went to she went to some college camps that she was interested in attending. We've done it all. But Point Guard College Camp, and I tell everybody this over and over again, I don't know how to articulate it maybe well enough for you, but when she went to that camp and we came back from that camp and she went to go play with her high school team, right? She had already done her travel club stuff. We went to the camp, and then we came back and she was playing with her high school team, and they were having their first games. We had just come back, and I saw the difference. I don't know how to explain that more. Her command of the court, her confidence, her poise, the way she moved, the way she handled everything that was going on that court, I could see it immediately. It was the first time I've ever seen that change. You know, she had a great freshman year. She's going into her sophomore year. It's complete. It's just the way she got the ball when she was coming up the court. If there was pressure, she didn't overdo anything. It was just a beautiful thing to watch. And I'm watching it and I'm going, wow, this is a different player. So I think that's why I was so enamored with the camp, and I made a big deal years later when I created the software. I didn't create the software until 2015, and I really didn't get into it until 2018, to where I took it over and I offered it to you guys at actually no cost, because I know now how important her playing sports, going to school to play sports, the people she met on campus, and the way her life is turning out now, it's all sports was what caused all of this stuff to happen for us. Not saying it wouldn't happen in something else if you were doing something else, but I see the impact of youth sports on a kid, how they move in the world. She was a really good player, how she moved on her high school campus. My daughter was so giving on her high school campus. She would encourage everybody to come to the games, especially the girls' games, and she would, you know, dap people up in the thing when she was coming in the room, in the stands. Kids that were really shy, that didn't talk a lot, she was always encouraging. Just her whole demeanor changed because she took on the responsibility of being the best player, at least for the girls' program in the school, and she took that and helped other people become better. And I'm advocating this more than anything. And then the other reason I'm saying this is so important is because even after she's been playing years later, right? We're in 2025. She just did a girls' camp with some of the girls from our area, rival schools. They all got together and put on a camp for some young girls over here just to show them some basics of sports. This is what I'm trying to get for our kids. And then they're talking about doing these other things and creating their own travel club programs. This is what I keep trying to tell you guys to do. Let your kids play sports. Let them there's not all these rivalries and we're all enemies and all this kind of stuff. And let them learn, let them be community oriented, and then let them get together years later, they're getting together and trying to figure out what can they do. They're all working. They all have jobs. A couple of them already have kids. I have my own grandson from my daughter, but they want to give back. This is and they're doing something entrepreneurial, and they're going to work, and they're married. And so what's happening here is they're creating a world for themselves, but they're also playing by the rules that have been set up. Okay, let me get back to Point Guard College, because that's why I'm doing this. So to me, Point Guard College is the best camp that I sent my daughter to, hands down. I saw the difference, and I think that's what you're looking for when they come back from a camp. Yes, they can come back with better skills, better ball handling, better shooting, and so they have a whole bunch of different camps. The one that I like is the Point Guard College version. So if you go to their site and look, you'll see a whole bunch of different things. They have stuff for younger kids now. They didn't have this many camps before. I think they only had 2. So they've got a bigger thing. They've got a scoring camp. They've got a shooting camp. They have they have a playmaker camp. They have all of these different camps. But look for the one that says Point Guard College. That's the only one that I'm recommending because I know it. It doesn't mean the other ones aren't just as good or they don't sprinkle the same stuff in, or I just haven't been to those. I just haven't seen what those do for anybody. I did send my nephew last year. He was a freshman going into his sophomore year, and he was on JV his freshman year, but they pulled him up during the playoffs, and then he was now going to be playing varsity his sophomore year. So I did help my brother send him. And so here's the way it's set up, though, for us, for AthleticSOS. If you use AthleticSOS as a code, because when you're going to the checkout, there's going to be a code, use AthleticSOS, and I'll leave that down in the description below, how to spell it. Make sure you get that right. And you'll get $100 off the camp. And then they're having an early bird special. That's why I'm kind of doing this one really quick today. There's an early bird special that gets you $100 off too, because the real opening is going to be next week on January 27th or 28th or something like that. But on January 23rd, which is tomorrow, which is Thursday, 2025, you get an additional $100 off. So you can stack those codes. That's why I want to get this out to you guys. I know some of you are going to miss it. You're not going to see this till a week, maybe a month later from now, but you can still use AthleticSOS and still get that $100 off. I am recommending that particular camp. I'm not saying the other camps are any good. Take a look at each camp and see if they fit who you are. If you got a 7th grader or a 4th or 5th grader, you don't want to send them to the Point Guard College camp. It's going to be a little bit too advanced for them. So they do have some other camps to kind of get them going. I think what they're trying to do is get kids in early, and so you will stair step into their other camps as you move forward. I think that's what they're trying to do. Mono, who is taking that over, he wasn't there when my daughter went, but I've talked to him a number of times. Just a top-notch person. What they're trying to do is teach the game in a different way. It's much different than anything else. I'm not knocking any other camp. I actually work with other camps with our software, and I'm sure they do a great job. I just don't have a kid in those camps. I've seen them. They do a great job. They really work with the kids. They talk with them really well. I just thought Point Guard College set itself apart a little bit, and I saw it in my daughter. And I don't know how to tell you more than when you spend your money on something and you come back and you see the effects of it, and you see it in such a positive way that you're like, wow, this is different. And that's what I saw there. I'm not saying that's going to happen for everybody. And then the other thing people always ask me, will this be good for my kid? So if you have a girl playing basketball, you have to send her to this camp. You just have to do it. They play a different game. It's more on the floor. I know they're getting more athletic. They've leaps and bounds from when my daughter played, but they still play a certain style of basketball. Point Guard College is so perfect for that. If you have a young man that is playing, the way I would see it, there's some kids that are so physically gifted that they're playing, it's man against boys, right? Type of situation. Sometimes they don't get Point Guard College because they're like, well, this is silly, because the kids that are there, it's a wide range of kids that are coming. But every kid that goes to Point Guard College is serious about the game. So one of the things I do recommend is there is a book. The person who started Point Guard College years ago was called Dick DeVinzio. His name is Dick DeVinzio. He's passed away. He has a book called Stuff Good Players Should Know. I'm going to put a link down to that. I did get a link for an Amazon link. You can get it from wherever you want to. You get it from the camp if you want. But if you get it from me, I do get something back from that. I don't get anything from you guys with the discount for Point Guard College. I'm not an affiliate. They don't do an affiliate program where I get a cut. You don't want that anyway, right? You don't want someone recommending something to you and then they're getting money for it. They may be on the up and up, and I would be, but I don't think that's what you're looking for. I'm giving you this out of my experience with the camp, not with me getting something out of it and knowing mono and all that kind of stuff. So, but if you get the book, you should get the book anyway. And the camp is $8.95 to $12.95, depending on a lot of variables. So go look and see what you're trying to do, where your state is, what's going on. This seems expensive to me, but I looked around at some other camps and everything's at least $500 to $2,000. I don't know what to tell you. The world is just super expensive right now. So if you're investing in this, this is a good way to do the investment. So don't shy away from it. But you could get the $200 off. And if you're going to pay for a camp anyway, and it's basketball, and your kid is into the game, they love the game. I think that's the kid that needs to go to Point Guard College. That they eat, breathe, sleep, think about the game all the time. They will love this camp. They will eat it up. It is an overnight type camp. You're going to drop them off, and they're going to meet the other kids there. Emphasize for your kids to meet the other kids, get to know them. They're going to come from all over the country, all over the world. People fly in from all over the world to go to this particular camps. So if you get a chance to do it, the early bird specials on January 23rd. So I'm doing this on the 22nd. I know it's short notice, but hopefully everybody to subscribe to the channel. That's why I tell you guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you will see this pop up in your feed and you can get on there. It's 7 a.m. Pacific time, which is 10 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. You want to be the first 2,500 people get in and they get that discount. Hopefully they'll extend it out some kind of way. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm so late in getting this out to you guys, but I did come out the day before. I just found out about this yesterday, so I wanted to get out here today and make the video for you. And then the book, I'm going to put a link down to the book. Get that book anyway, even before they go to the camp. And then even if you're not going to go to the camp, get this book for them anyway. If they're willing to read that book, then next year, make sure you put your kid in Point Guard College, because that means your kid is into the game. They want to learn. They want to be the best. And they want to understand the game better than everybody else. The one thing you always try to do is position yourself, right? I talk about that all the time. And so you want to set yourself apart from everybody else. Everybody can run and jump and shoot and dribble and pass and set screens and pick and rebound. And everybody's training on that stuff. They're going to be in the best shape, and their speed and quickness and cognitive and all that stuff's going on in the world. But there is a sense of understanding the game, of feeling the game, of it being easy for you to play. That's what you're looking for your kid. And the kid that's curious about the game, they want to go to Point Guard College. All right, guys. So that's it for me. So I'm giving you, let me summarize real quick. So for January 23rd, 2025 is the early bird signing. You're going to get $100 off just in general. If you use AthleticSOS as a code, it asks for a code when you're ready to check out, you will get another $100 off. If you missed the January 23rd early bird special, don't worry about it. Go ahead and put AthleticSOS in anyway. At least you'll get the $100 off. And then from moving forward from there, it's always going to be open whenever you decide to go to the camp. The camp is great for your kids. They have different levels. I am recommending Point Guard College. And then I'm also recommending you get their book. It's from Dick DeVinzio. It's called Stuff Good Players Should Know. And I am going to have a link for that down below. And then I'm also going to put a link to our AthleticSOS website. It's absolutely free to use. If your kid is in high school, you got to use the software. It's going to tell you the schools they academic qualified to attend. And you're going to find out about schools at all the levels, NCAA Division I, II, III, NAIA, even junior colleges that offer money for them to go to school. Doesn't matter which sport. So if you got nieces and nephews or other kids, they can also use the software. And so that's the bundle. That's what we're working on. And best of luck to you guys as always in everything that you do. And go ahead and look down below and get everything that you need. All right, guys. Talk to you later.